banks, and I think needs to be recognized, still enjoy really tremendous advantage when it comes to trust of established providers. If you look at the last couple of years, actually, if you look at last decade, there was a lot of bank bashing in the first year after the crisis. But despite of this, people still see banks as the go-to provider for the financial needs. With the emergence of fintechs, obviously, there's another a group of competitors. But in this simple aspect of trust, the advantage is still with the banks. What's more, if you look at the last 2 years, the pandemic, many of the banks around the world, and we measured this at RFI, have actually managed to extend that lead over fintechs. Banks were really at the forefront of offering COVID-related support measures. They were, offering, extending loans to businesses that did really help them build that or extend that lead in trust over new providers. But when we look at trust in banking, we often see it being a byproduct of longevity. Banks are trusted often because they've simply been around for, in some cases, century or two. And as fintechs, stay around, extend their customer bases, and the longevity as well extends, we very much expect some of this gap to close. Because what we see currently around the world is that the trust in fintechs is growing, and they build the trust as they offer more services, as they extend the services to customers. But the gap between the two, it's still quite wide. And I think, for traditional banks, obviously this is a key advantage, because if you look at primary banking relationships, salary transfer, the providers people tend to turn to first for the different products. Banks are often in the driving seat. And this is a really important for fintechs to start redressing it, because it's only if they build that trust with customers, it's only if the customers feel confident enough to entrust those providers with the assets, with the salary transfer relationships. It's only then when those providers can truly build engage customer books and extend their financial services onto other aspects. As to loyalty, I think, again, a really interesting aspect when you look at fintechs. What we actually see globally is that fintechs are quite good at retaining their customers. We can see that 8 in 10 consumers globally who have used fintech in the past are still using these services. So those providers are really good at maintaining their customer books, at retaining customers. But I think the key advantage when it comes to loyalty that fintechs can have over traditional banks, it's in the additional value-added services. We know that many of them are looking into subscription models, are looking at monetization opportunities, are looking at value-added services as well. So if they get that right, and we know that many of the established players are really struggling in this area, people around the world don't really feel recognized by traditional banks they use. If fintechs get this aspect of loyalty right, it could be a game changer for them longer term as well.